So here's plot 2. Hi. So plot 2 right here. If you can imagine that, what that looks like, 90 centimeter plot. I'm standing on a down log, as you can see. So the canopy is open above me, and there's a few large conifers around. But yeah, it's shaded at the moment, like the last area, so similar in that way. There looks to be more litter fall on top of these species, but overall what I can see surrounding me, there's not nearly as many species or diversity range as the last plot. So oh jeez. So oh, this is kind of steep, but oh well. I'm seeing a lot of different sword ferns, a lot of sword ferns. In fact, I am not seeing any other ferns other than the sword fern. There is an elderberry. I'm not sure if it's blue, red, or white elderberry, so I'm just gonna say elderberry. And again, there's a lot of different sorrel, redwood sorrel. They seem actually bigger over here, but there's not nearly as many as there were in the last plot. And then there is some invasive species ivy here, and I guess you can suspect to see that pretty much everywhere in here. But yes, here's a sword fern, and so again, I'm just gonna count stalks of them. So I see, oops, probably better if you see. I see 1, 2, is one right below me, another one right here, 3. If you want to count the one over there, there's a big one right there, 4, 5, at least 5 different big stalks of the sword ferns, as you can see. And then I'm gonna hop down now so I can take a look at the soil. So this might actually take a moment for me to get down. So give me a second while I figure this out, I guess. Oh, jeez. Alright. So stepping on the soil in here, or the ground, it's really fluffy feeling. And I assume that's because of all the duff litter fall layer. It's very thick, extremely thick. So you can see the roots of because I'm right next to the sword fern. It's really thick, it's really fluffy. It feels as though it's mainly just like chopped up wet bark from the trees. A lot of roots. It's moist in here. The top layer is dry, but if you dig down below, it's pretty moist. So that would explain why these sword ferns are doing so well. Here's a pretty sword fern right here. This looks pretty new. A lot of new growth on it. And so I don't see too many organisms. The last plot had a lot of different bugs, a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of water bugs. But over here, there's not any mosquitoes surrounding me at all. And there's not nearly as many species as the last area. I am counting a total of, let's see, here's one species, 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, just 4. And then of course I have some of the big conifers, but they're not in my plot, so I'm not going to count them. But yeah, over here I only see about 4 different species. So the density over here, I feel, is pretty thick. I mean, looking up around me, you can hardly see the forest floor because it's so thick with the sword fern. So I'm suggesting that, or I'm seeing that the density levels are much higher, thicker over here. And I assume it's because it's not near a riparian zone and you're getting this sword fern is just everywhere, and I feel like the sword fern took control of this area. But you can definitely see the different, sorry about that, I dropped the phone. Oopsie, my bad. But here you can definitely tell it's much, I would say it's much denser here, but with a lower diversity. Because the other plot had more diversity, there was more species, for sure, and over here there's not nearly as many species, which I only counted 4 in my plot. 4 different species in here. The other one I counted like several different. So that just shows you the different areas, and I find it very, very interesting. I find it very, very interesting, the different diversities and how, mosquitoes. Yeah, and mosquitoes here, there's so many near the water. It's insane. So I would think that it would bring in more different organisms and creatures because mosquitoes are food. Other animals eat those. Plus you get, mainly bugs, I would see. But over here, there's a lot of spider webs in the area where I'm at right here. I chose a similar spot, and I can definitely see the difference in the different plots I looked at. And hopefully you can see the difference as well. So, here we go. Plot number 2. All done.